Hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. First of all, let me say happy Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers out there, be it biological fathers, adopted fathers, father figures, big brothers. Happy Father's Day to you. I pray that you have enjoyed yourselves on this day. Look, we're going to talk about what happened to me this past weekend. Well, this weekend is not quite over, but on Friday, if y'all haven't seen my page, I was actually hypnotized. Now, I did not believe in hypnotism at all. I did not believe that it could be done. I did not understand it. And I have a real understanding of it now. Our true belief of hypnotism, it does work. But the only thing is you have to allow it to work. You have to be a willing participant in order to be hypnotized. And as long as you concentrate, you will go into that trance and they will make those suggestions and you will want to follow them. It's like an awakening. It's like it enhances your need to do what he suggests or what she suggests. Is not, you are not unconscious. You can hear everything. You know what you're saying. What I did learn from studying afterwards, if you actually are a person of morals, then it will show when you're hypnotized. You're not going to do anything immoral when you're being hypnotized. Okay, so you're not going to go out and rob a bank. You're not going to unalive anybody or anything like that. You're going to stick within your morals. Like, I've noticed that I was able to not lie. See, I'm a person of morals, and I don't. Lying is not my preference, to each his own. And so when he asked me a question and I really wanted to avoid the question and say, it's complicated, I couldn't. I gave the actual answer and I really didn't want everybody in my business. So that's how it was. So when we went into the room was myself and my cousin and some more legionnaires and riders. And I was like, the first thing I said is, I do not want to be hypnotized. Don't volunteer me because I do not want to get up there and tell all my business. That's the first thing I said. And so everybody was like, okay. So he initially tried to hypnotize the whole audience. So I got my cousin over there. You're just going to hear her voice. I'm going to ask her how she felt when this all happened and what was going through her head and was she willing to be hypnotized? Did she stop it? What happened during that time? So Lisa, what happened when he tried to hypnotize the whole audience?
Okay, so he tried to hypnotize the whole audience and, in a sense, put us in a trance. So he just had us go through some motions. Some people it worked on. My cousin was one of them. For me personally, it didn't work for me because I was too resistant. I was very skeptical. I didn't believe in it. And I didn't allow myself to relax to get to the point of being hypnotized. Maybe because I was too skeptical, or maybe because I was a little bit afraid that it could possibly happen. I was definitely a disbeliever until I saw it happen to my cousin with my own eyes. So he tried to put everybody in the room into a hypnotic trance. It worked for some people. But I would say for the majority it didn't, because you really have to allow yourself to relax and listen and be willing to, input the things that he's saying. And like I said, it definitely worked on my cousin. She was accepting everything he was saying. She was relaxed. She was willing to go there, and he put her to sleep.
Yeah, because I doubted it so much. And I didn't, I just did not believe in hypnotics. I didn't believe in it. Hypnosis. I was like, okay, I'm going to see if this really works. And so I opened myself up and I relaxed my mind and I stopped thinking about what was going on around me. And I just concentrated on his voice like he told me. And so I did the little exercise. And then I'm thinking, I'm not even realizing that my arms were going in the way that he said that they would go. He was telling, the left arm is going to go down, the right arm is going to go up to the sky. And I did not realize that mine was actually doing that. And then he came over. His voice got closer and closer to me. And he came over, and next thing you know, I was gone. He had put me to sleep. And then it seemed like I was asleep for a while. How long was I asleep, though?
I can't remember how long you were sleeping, but you were one of the last ones that he came and woke up. I would say that you were probably asleep for probably about maybe no more than 5 minutes, but maybe anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And when he came to wake you up from the sleep or from the trance, he actually had to do it 2 or 3 times because you didn't wake up the first time.
Okay, so she said he had to wake me up
about 2
or 3 times because when he came to get me, it had been about 3 to 5 minutes, and I didn't wake up right away. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you about being hypnotized. You have to get yourself together. So when you go into the sleep, you go into that trance where you're sleeping. When you stand up or anything, you got to kind of get yourself together. And so I had to get myself together to walk up there. Now, this is something that I didn't know before doing it because I didn't research it. After I researched it, I understood why it took me so long to gather myself to actually go up on the stage. And then I was already in the trance. I was still in that mode to where my mind was relaxed. And that's why he was able to continue to do what he was doing, because my mind was already relaxed. And I had actually been hypnotized from the time that I fell over on that man that was out there. And so I was in the trance, and as long as I concentrated on the things that he said and kept my mind open and not start worrying about what's going on in the environment around me, he had me, And so when I got on the stage, I'm not exactly sure how the order went, but I know that he was telling us what we were going to be doing. And I was so relaxed the whole time. I was just concentrating on what he is going to tell me. What do I need to do? I was like basically waiting for my orders, okay? And so when he asked me, did I have about my boyfriend and my husband and all that stuff like that, that's some of my business I don't like to tell. But like I say, because I was a person of morals and I don't lie, I could not resist telling the truth, And so that's why I was afraid of, because I'm like, if he start asking me my opinions of certain stuff, I don't want to be that one telling all my business. So luckily he didn't ask me anything like that. He asked me, my goodness, y'all, we were talking about what was some of the stuff he was saying? Because I can remember, I do remember when I was in the trance, when I first was asleep, I heard someone that was with us was like, she's not a part of the show. She's not a part of the show. And I think it was at that moment that people started believing that this thing is real, because so many people was like doubting him. But for me to come in there and all of a sudden I'm in a hypnotized state, you could do not but believe it. And when he was asking me stuff, my body was just feeling a little different. So what was kind of stuff he was asking?
You mean like the things he was telling y'all to do?
Yeah,
Yeah, so one thing was, anytime he told her to laugh, or he wanted the laugh to get stronger, it did. Like, she was just laughing out of nowhere. Just laughing like really, really loud, really, really, just the laugh was so, it was just a loud laugh. And then all of a sudden he snapped his fingers and told her to sleep. And the laugh stopped and she went back to sleep. I mean, just like that. Also, another thing was he had them, the participants on stage, they were going through motions of being really hot, fanning themselves, trying to cool off, and then fanning gnats away, putting on lotion to cool down the gnats, and then going to a state where they were really, really cold. So her and this guy were so cold, they ended up kind of hugging each other for the body heat. I mean, it was just very intriguing. It was unbelievable, but it was believable because, I mean, you were sitting right there looking at it.
And see, I'm the type of person that my goal really is to prove you wrong, to prove that you lying, to prove that it doesn't work because I didn't believe in it myself. So I'm like, I'm going to see if this is real. I'm going to go ahead on and open myself up to it to see if it's real. Because if not, I'm going to be able to say this is fake. And so the thing is, when we were going through some of the activities, it was one where I was supposed to find him the most attractive man and whatnot. And I stood up. I remember standing up, and I remember my body was tingling. I was dizzy, and that's a sign of being hypnotized. Okay. I didn't know that until after I read it, but I had told my cousin after the show that, hey, I felt real funny. I felt real funny when I stood up. And so when I researched it last night and this morning, that was one of the signs. Dizziness was one of the signs of coming out of hypnosis. And so I knew that some of the stuff. And then when I researched as well, it told me that you are not unconscious when you have been hypnotized. You can hear, you can, and you can make your own decisions as well. And so all you have to do to come out of it is stop concentrating. So nobody has control over your mind when you're being hypnotized. All it's doing is heightening your senses, and it's you're being in a trance, and you're ignoring what's going on in the environment around you, and you're staying focused on the individual that's talking, and they are the ones making these suggestions to you, and you are pretty much empowered to do it. So you're in an empowering place. That's why sometimes when you're being interviewed for certain things, or you're trying to reach certain aspects in your childhood, they will put you under hypnosis so that you will be bold enough to go back into it and dig into it, so you can talk about it. And
yeah, because I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
He told her that when she was in a trance, he said, every time I shake your hand, you're going to see me as the best looking, most handsome, sexiest white man that you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And literally, once he woke her up, every time he shook her hand, she was so attracted to this man. I mean, it was just it was just unbelievable. Like, every time he shook her hand, she was cheesing from left to right, had a big smile, throwing her leg up, just grinning. I mean, she was really attracted to this man every time he shook her hand. Every time.
And my cousin know that he is not my type.
Yeah, and I said it to myself. I didn't say it out loud, but I said, this has to be real, because I have never known my cousin to be attracted to a white man, like, ever. I've never known her to ever be attracted to them.
I have been attracted to them, but never have I dated one.
Never dated one. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was kind of different, but it was something. I really was. He told me that he didn't have anywhere to stay when he came.
Yes, he asked her, where are you from? Where do you live? She said Portsmouth, Virginia. She said Portsmouth, and he was like, oh, I love Portsmouth, Virginia, but every time I go there, I never have anywhere to stay. And she was like, you can come stay with me. With a big old grin on her face. You can come stay with me.
So it was really enlightening to know that the hypnosis is real. To be hypnotized is a real thing. And then I learned the raw way, because I didn't study until after I went through everything. So everything that I was telling, like, because people want to hear, oh, you was unconscious, you weren't conscious. He took over your mind and all that stuff. That is not how hypnosis work. They do not take over your mind. You are conscious of everything you say and do, and they are. Some people can lie under hypnosis. If they, most of the time, if you're a liar, you could still lie under hypnosis. I'm not a liar, so I could not lie. When I tried to say it's complicated, I couldn't. I had to give the right answer. So they don't take over your mind when they hypnotize you. They don't control you. Like I said, they're not going to be able to tell you to go and hurt somebody or hurt yourself, because you're not going to do anything that is not moral. So, okay, no immoral stuff. And so, now you might, he did have us go a little R-rated, and I did that, and that was just more of comedic substance for the show, because those people were in tears. And I mean, it was just, if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't, because it does open you up to be vulnerable if you continue to allow him to open you up, if you understand what I'm saying. You have to be willing to do it, because you can turn it off at any time. Anytime you choose not to concentrate, you can get out of it. Anytime you choose to say, hey, I'm done with this, you can get out of it. But if you was really in that trance, it's going to take you a minute to get orientated back to your normal self. Okay. But I mean, I hadn't seen anything like it in my life. I had never.
Me either. It was strange.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Yeah, I never experienced it before in my life. I thought it was not real. I thought he was just, making money, buku money, off of this. But I can tell you right now, if he wasn't making buku money, he will, because I was raw. And I ain't know nothing about being hypnotized. And my stuff was real reaction. And when he said, let me say this, they said everybody in the room was naked. And you're going to open your eyes. When you wake up, you're going to see everybody in the room. They're going to appear to be naked. Let me clarify that for me. Because I can remember, I'm looking at everybody in the room, but I don't see any body parts. But in my mind, these people ain't got no clothes on, so I'm laughing at them. I'm laughing. But I really didn't see anything. I'm laughing, though. It's crazy how your mind works. And it was just crazy. It was like I was imagining it, but I couldn't stop thinking these people naked, but they had clothes on, and so, and that's what it does. It enhances your thoughts, and like I say, whatever it was that he wanted us to do, we were doing it. One lady was talking from her shoe. One man, he told him that when he wake up, he gonna be what did he tell him? Dumb? And
he said stupid. He said you're gonna walk stupid, act stupid, and talk stupid, and he did all three.
And that man got up there, because I didn't hear his directions. I was in my own little sleep, and I didn't hear his directions, so I didn't understand why the man was stuttering and falling over his feet and stuff like that, until my cousin told me what he had told him he was going to do. Because I think, my thing was, I was going to find him attractive. And that's all I did when I woke up. So if you get hypnotized, remember that it's all about your mind. If you choose to not go through with it, all you have to do is refocus. All you got to do is just be like, you done. Don't listen to him. Don't open your mind. Don't focus. But to be hypnotized, your mind you are going to relax, and you're going to relax totally. It is amazing how it's done. I think when I get finished with this show, I'm going to pull something up on TV about hypnosis, because now that I know that it works, it is true. I understand why they use it when they do investigations, with people. I understand why they use it in therapy, because you get it's almost like you get You know how when you drink and they say you got liquid courage? It's almost like that. You have this immeasurable amount of courage to do stuff because you are so relaxed. You're not uptight. You're not thinking about what you're doing really before you do it. You're like, if he say that you, what was one of the things he told me, Lisa, that I hadn't discussed? Well, let's just say the laughing part. There was nothing funny. And that was the whole thing. There was nothing funny. But the harder he told me to laugh, the harder I laughed. As if there was something funny. And then when he told me to stop, I stopped. And then, okay, this one. Now, this is the money shot. He told me that if I could stay awake for 10 seconds, you can tell him, Lisa.
I forgot about that one. So he told her, if you can stay awake for 10 seconds, I will give you $50. He snapped his fingers and she fell asleep.
And then he told me.
Then he told her, if you can stay awake for 10 seconds, I'll give you $100. Or the couple in the audience will give you $100. So he started counting backwards from 10 to 1. Of course, never getting to 1. In the midst of doing that, he snapped his fingers and she went to sleep.
And I sure tried to get them $100.
I know my cousin, if she could have fought, trust me and believe me, if she could have fought staying awake to get that $50 or that $100, she would have definitely done that.
Yep.
She would have, but she couldn't do it.
And the reason why I couldn't do it, because I was concentrating on what he said. He had me look at the red exit sign and concentrate on that exit sign. And as long as my mind was open, he was able to get in there and suggest that I do these things. So he was able to get in there and say sleep, and I fall off to sleep. And that's the thing with hypnosis. You have to have your mind open, and you have to be focused, and you have to listen to that person. And he had it where at the end of the show that we would, every time he called his own name, we would cheer like we were school cheerleaders and say, I love Gary Michaels. And when I tell you that we was getting ready to pack up and go, and he kept saying his name, I kept screaming. And it wasn't because I was forced to scream. It was because that I had to scream because I was supposed to do that. You know, I remembered I was supposed to do that. So it is weird the way hypnosis work. If you are afraid to do it, don't do it. But I'm telling you, it was an experience, and you do have to be focused, because at any time that you lose focus, you lose the ability of the hypnosis, or what is it? What is hypnosis? What you call them?
A trance?
No, the man that hypnotized.
A hypnotist.
Yeah, you use that, his ability, he loses his ability to hypnotize you. Okay, so you have to stay focused in order to be hypnotized. So if you're not going to be focused, don't even go up there. But if you're one that's going to go with it and give it a benefit of the doubt like I did, it's going to work for you for the most part, but you just got to stay focused. I'm glad I did it. I don't feel any different from when he did it for me. But besides the fact that I'm all about making some money now, because in a year from now, I'm going to have some big money. I think he put that in us, that we're going to have some money in a year, and then 3 months later, what we doing 3 months after the money? After the year, he said.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot what happens 3 months later, but I know within a year that I should be getting paid, y'all.
He said in 1 year, you're going to have a lot of money, enough money to be happy and have the things you want. And then 3 months after that, oh my gosh, I can't remember what he said. 3 months after that,
I forgot what it was, but I'll probably figure it out later. But I know that I'm very optimistic about that money that I'm supposed to be having, because I believe it. And ever since then, all I've been doing is thinking of different avenues to bring in money, good avenues too. So definitely gonna try to cash in on that stuff. I like him because he could have said something different than us being prosperous.
Yeah,
So,
and I want to say, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
He didn't say rich. Now he didn't say you was on. He didn't say y'all would be rich.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just saying, in a year you would have enough money to, live comfortably and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how your mind needs to be thinking. And so, listen, if you're not afraid, give it a chance. It's a very, very different experience. A very different experience. And after the show, I'm going to tell you, everybody loved me. Like y'all.
Oh, my gosh. She was the star of the show. I'm sorry. Almost all of the participants, they were hypnotized. They reacted when he told them to. But she was the star of the show. She stole the show. She really did. She really stole the show.
And then when I was trying to get to my room, they were calling me out for basically a question and answer session.
Yes. They were like, come here for a minute. I got questions. But everybody was just so curious, I mean, it was just very entertaining, very intriguing. And if you were skeptical, I mean, it's true. It happens.
Yeah.
You can definitely be hypnotized.
So try it out, y'all. Don't be afraid. I was so happy to share my experience with you guys. And I shared some videos, and I'll look through them and see which ones I have that I didn't share. I won't share the ones that were a little raunchy because I really didn't want that part out. But I'm going to try to share some that I haven't shared with you. Remember, God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself, and then you can go on and properly love someone else. Till we shall meet again, may God bless you real good. Y'all take care. May you be tremendously blessed this week. Once again, happy Father's Day, and I'll see y'all real soon.